We're talking about the 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter. And before you say, "I've got a million of those," hold up. One very rare version of this coin recently sold for over $91,000. That's not a typo. That's enough to buy a used Tesla or 364,000 more parking meters. Either way, you're going to want to hear this. So buckle up, because we're diving into what makes this quarter so special, how to tell if you've got a jackpot in your change jar, and I'll even tell you how I almost used one of these to buy a gas station hot dog. Seriously. Alright, first, let's set the scene. 1965 was the year the US Mint stopped making quarters out of 90% silver. Why? Because silver was getting expensive, and the government was like, "We're not in the business of giving away precious metal for bubblegum." So, they switched to a copper-nickel sandwich design, the same stuff our quarters are made of today. But here's where it gets juicy. Some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. That's right. A few sneaky silver coins snuck into the copper-nickel batch. These are the ones worth the big bucks. And they look almost identical to the regular ones. Unless you know what to look for. So, how can you tell if your 1965 quarter is secretly a silver superstar? First, the weight test. A regular 1965 quarter weighs 5.67 grams. But a silver one? Around 6.25 grams. Doesn't sound like much, but to collectors, that's the difference between meh and cha-ching. Second, check the edge of the coin. A normal quarter from 1965 should show a coppery-colored edge. If your quarter has a solid silver-looking edge, ding ding ding, you might just have something special. And third, get it tested. If you suspect your coin is silver, don't guess. Take it to a coin dealer or send it to a grading service. The most valuable 1965 quarter was graded MS-67 by PCGS and sold for $91,000. Imagine finding that in your laundry money. Okay, story time. A few years ago, I was at a gas station half awake and grabbed one of those suspicious hot dogs that's been rolling on the heater since the Obama administration. I needed exact change. Pulled out a quarter from my pocket, gave it to the cashier, and walked out. That night, I emptied my pockets and realized I had pulled that 1965 quarter earlier from a coin roll I was sorting. The one I handed over? Probably a regular one. Probably. But I still wonder. That hot dog might have cost me 91 grand. Lesson learned. Check your change before you feed it to vending machines, parking meters, or gas station cashiers. You never know what hidden treasure you're carrying around, so next time you find a 1965 quarter, don't roll your eyes and toss it aside. We're talking about a year that could turn your spare change into life-changing money. Seriously, it's like finding a golden ticket, except the chocolate is missing, and Willy Wonka is a guy in a coin shop with a loop. If you like this video and want more tips on coins that are secretly worth money, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I drop new videos all the time showing you exactly what to look for, from pennies to quarters to half dollars, and how to turn pocket change into profit. Also, smash that like button if you've ever bought a sketchy gas station hot dog. Misery loves company. Thanks for hanging out, and we're diving into how a regular OL quarter could pay your mortgage. Or at least fund a killer vacation to anywhere but your kitchen. So grab a snack, your spare change, and maybe a magnifying glass, because we're about to decode the jackpot hiding in your coin jar. Okay, so let's break it down. In 1967, the US Mint was in a bit of a rush. We're talking millions of quarters being pumped out like hotcakes on a Sunday morning. And to speed things up, they skipped something kind of important. The mint mark. That little letter under the eagle's tail? Gone. Nada. Zip. Why? Because in 1965, the Mint temporarily removed mint marks to stop people from hoarding coins from specific cities. So every quarter from 65 to 67 has no mint mark, including this 1967 superstar. Now you're thinking, wait, if they all had no mint mark, how the heck is one worth 91 grand? Great question. Smarty pants. Here's where it gets juicy. Most 1967 quarters are just your standard cup of coffee change. But a few, and I mean a tiny few, were struck using special dyes or were in proof-like condition, and somehow escaped into circulation or ended up graded at a jaw-dropping level. We're talking pristine, untouched, fresh off the mint perfect. Like, never met a pocket in its life, kind of perfect. One of these unicorns, graded MS-68 asterisk. That's mint state 68 on the Sheldon scale. went for a mind-blowing $91,062 at auction. Now before you start flipping over furniture and raiding your grandma's cookie tin, remember, the condition is everything. If your quarter has been through the ringer, dropped in a vending machine, or used to scratch a lotto ticket, it probably won't hit that mark. But don't lose hope. Even a lower-grade 1967 quarter in good condition can still be worth a few bucks. Some have sold for $30, $100, even up to $500 depending on the condition and grading.o. And here's a quick tip: if your coin looks shiny, almost like a mirror, it might be a special mint set coin or have a proof-like strike. That's your cue to get it checked out. Now, let me tell you a quick story. Last summer, I was at a garage sale, one of those I might find an antique or a broken lamp kind of Saturdays. I grabbed a little jar of old coins for $5. Thought I was just buying a cool decoration for my desk. Fast forward 2 weeks, I'm bored watching reruns, flipping through those coins, and boom, there's a 1967 quarter, no mint mark, shiny, almost too shiny. I squint. I Google. I freak out. I didn't find a $91,000 jackpot, but mine got appraised at over $100. For a coin I basically bought with couch change. Moral of the story: you never know what's hiding in plain sight. So what did we learn today? That 1967 quarter in your house? It might just be worth way more than 25 cents. Check the date. Look for that missing mint mark, or rather, the fact that it's missing by design. Then check the condition. If it looks shiny and crisp and hasn't been through World War III in your pockets, it might be time to get it graded. And remember, coin collecting isn't just for old guys in basements. It's treasure hunting for the modern day. Your next paycheck might already be sitting in your junk drawer. If you like this video, smash that like button like you're smashing your piggy bank. And if you want more tips, stories, and surprises about coins worth money, and how to find them, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I post new videos every week with coin facts, collecting hacks, and the occasional story of me losing my mind over a rusty nickel. We're diving into a coin that might be hiding in plain sight and could be worth more than your rent for the year. I'm talking about the 1993 mint mark Washington $quarter coin. And get this, one recently sold for a jaw-dropping $91,000. Yep, you heard that right, 91,000 with a capital W for woes. So if you've got a jar full of quarters sitting in your kitchen or a pile in your car's cup holder, you might want to check M before you tip your barista or feed a parking meter. Stick around because we're breaking down what makes this coin so special and how you could strike it rich. Alright, let's start with a quick refresher on the 1993 Washington quarter. The P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, which cranked out a ton of these babies that year. We're talking over 639 million, so naturally you're thinking no way a coin that common is worth anything near 91,000 bucks, and you're right, most of them are only worth well a quarter, but here's where it gets spicy. Certain quarters from that batch have some seriously rare features that make collectors lose their minds and open their wallets. The quarter that fetched 91K was in what we call MS68 grade, that's short for Mint State 68, and it basically means the coin is in such perfect condition it practically glows. It's got no scratches, no dings, and it looks like it just rolled off the press this morning with a fresh coat of coin cologne. But that's not the only thing going for it. This coin also had a super sharp strike, full luster, and eye appeal that would make a bald eagle cry tears of numismatic joy. Now, let me tell you a quick story. So I was at my grandma's house a few years back, and she asked me to take a look at her old change collection. She had this dusty cookie tin filled with quarters, nickels, and pennies from like every decade since dinosaurs roamed the earth. I'm flipping through them like I'm Indiana Jones, and I spot a shiny 1993 quarter with a P on it. My heart skips a beat. I hold it up to the light, rub it on my sleeve like it's a genie lamp, and I swear it had that same sparkle as the ones in the auction photos. Turns out it wasn't the big money winner, but still it graded high enough to fetch around 40 bucks, which ain't bad for something that's usually stuck in a vending machine trying to buy stale chips. And that's the lesson, folks. These coins are hiding everywhere: purses, drawers, couch cushions, that old piggy bank you haven't cracked open since Y2. Okay, so what should you look for specifically? First, check the mint mark. Make sure it's got the P under the word in God we trust. Then inspect the condition. If it looks like it's never been touched or has only been handled with white gloves, you might be onto something. If you're really curious, grab a magnifier, or even better, get it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. Yeah, they charge a little fee, but hey, if your quarter could be worth 5 figures, it's worth the investment. And please, whatever you do, don't clean the coin. I know it's tempting. You want to shine it up, make it look pretty. Don't do it. You'll wreck its value faster than spilling grape juice on a white couch. So there you have it, folks. The 1993 Washington quarter could be your ticket to a fat payday if it's in the right condition. And you know what to look for. Who knew your car's cup holder could double as a savings account? If you found this video helpful and you're now eyeballing your change like it owes you money, do me A favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up and ring that bell so you don't miss any future coin hunting tips. We're all about turning pocket change into paper stacks around here. And who knows, maybe next time we'll uncover another common coin that's secretly worth a small fortune. Thanks for watching, good luck out there, and happy hunting. We're diving into the world of the 1995 D Mint Mark Washington quarter. Why is it so special? Why is someone willing to drop that kind of cash on a quarter? And how can you cash in if you've got one? Stick around, because I've got a juicy personal story that'll make you check every coin in your couch cushions. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1995 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver. That's what the little d under the date stands for. Now, normally this coin isn't super rare, hundreds of millions were made, so why in the name of George Washington's powdered wig is one of these quarters worth over $91,000 today? Well, get this, it's not just any 1995 D quarter. The valuable ones are in mint state condition. We're talking pristine, shiny, like you just pulled it from a fresh roll. No scratches, no coffee stains, no oops, I ran it over with the vacuum cleaner. Where one of these bad boys in MS68 grade sold for over $91,000 at auction. Yes, a coin that cost 25 cents in 1995 sold for enough to buy a Tesla and a boat. Maybe not a huge boat, but definitely a floaty one with cup holders. And why was it worth so much? Simple condition, rarity. Finding a nearly flawless 1995 D quarter is like finding a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is every pocket in America. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. Classic "you owe me pizza" situation. I'm going through this dusty old coffee can full of change, you know the type. Smells like W-40 and regret, and I spot this super shiny quarter. Looked like it hadn't aged a day. I kept it, thought, and maybe it's something, forgot about it for 3 years. Fast forward, I get into coin collecting, learn about this 1995 D quarter that's worth a small fortune if it's in great shape. I go digging through my drawer, find that same coin. Guess what? Not even close. It had a scratch across Washington's forehead like he'd gotten into a bar fight. Not MS68, more like MS yikes. But that moment taught me to look twice at every coin, because you just never know. Now, how can you tell if your 1995 D quarter is worth something? Here's what to do. 1. Look for the D Mint mark right under the date. That tells you it was made in Denver. 2. Check the condition. The more flawless it is, the more valuable it might be. Look for a shiny surface, no nicks, strong strike, nice clean edges, and absolutely no gum residue. Trust me, that ruins the vibe. 3. If you think you've got a high-grade quarter, get it graded by a professional. Companies like PCGS or NGC can confirm its quality, and if you hit that MS68 jackpot, boom, you're rich. Well, rich-ish, but even if your coin isn't worth 91K, coins in slightly lower mint state grades like MS65 or MS66 can still sell for $50 to $500, which isn't bad for something you pulled out of your sock drawers. So the next time someone says, "It's just a quarter," you can smile and say, "Yeah, and that quarter might pay for my next vacation." The 1995 D Washington quarter proves that treasure can be hiding in plain sight, in your Karen, your change jar, in your pants pocket. Hopefully not after laundry day. Don't sleep on your coins, don't spend them without checking, and definitely don't let that barista keep the change unless you're ready to cry if it turns out to be a $91,000 mistake. If you had fun hanging out and learned something new, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin tips, and hit the bell so you never miss a chance to turn coins into cash. We're all about finding treasure in everyday places, and you never know, your next trip to the laundromat might be worth a whole lot more than clean jeans. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story. Some just come with a bigger payday.